Welcome to episode 126. And there's the Vision, and there's Beta Ray Bill, and our gold brick radar is up, and that's what we're going to be doing today. We are going to be hunting gold bricks in Manhattan, and we're going to be doing this until all the gold bricks are hunted. I don't know how many hours exactly this would take, since we're not doing this live. But as we go over here to the happy little chessboard, today is May 15th, halfway through the month of May in 2017. Mother's Day was yesterday, and I don't know about everybody and their mother, but I'm sure if you asked your mother what she really wanted for Mother's Day, she probably answered that she wanted her child to be happy. So what I think that we need to do here as we try to organize one of the easier checkmates to get in chess, so I would challenge you to figure out what it is exactly that makes you happy. It's a topic that I kind of struggle with. Because I don't feel like I understand happiness, and I feel like I would need it explained to me. Even then, I would feel that it's something that's supposed to be so integral, something so pure that it shouldn't have to be explained. And I know that's probably not the right way to think about it. As we advance over to the picnic area where we are looking at these targets that we are going to shoot, again this time with the Vision. And so I guess one of the questions we could ask would be, does making little Lego Marvel Avengers movies or videos make me happy? Because we're 128 episodes into this thing, and from what I've noticed, the viewership of these has declined to nothing, and has been, I mean, granted the series is broken up and you know went away and came back and stuff, but the viewership of these things isn't very good. In fact, I'm not sure that all of them have even been viewed once. I mean, that includes myself taking advantage, of the like system, just to simply like everything that I've done, kind of thing. So why do I do it? I think I do it because I want to feel like, I'm playing these games for a reason, and posting them up on YouTube and potentially sharing them with somebody, even if nobody particularly sees them, just makes it feel like things have more meaning. It also, I think, it gives me an easy sense of accomplishment. When you get a 15-minute video finished. It takes more than 15 minutes to put a 15-minute video together. And if I had more skill, it would probably even take longer than I spend on it right now. Like for instance, I have the Windows Media or Movie Maker intro screen. And I sort of know in theory how to make that more sophisticated, but that's not really where I like to spend my time with the video. And for me, the real effort is trying to figure out how to talk for 15 minutes straight without having a idea necessarily of what I'm going to be talking about, other than maybe what the video targets. I think a lot of Let's Play series run into the issue of you're just basically telling what the game's doing. Now, in some cases, that's timeout. Okay. Now I'm not really sure where we left up. I had to answer a phone and have a nice conversation with, or at least a conversation with the person who was there. But it's been. I'm trying to evaluate, what kind of role I want video games to play in my life, and I'm thinking they need to play a much smaller role. I don't think that I handled this the healthiest that I could. And I think that, by putting stuff on YouTube, it made it seem, at least, like it was a more worthwhile endeavor. And I'm not going to stop necessarily posting videos on YouTube. For one thing, I've recorded way too much content that I need to sort through. I mean, stuff that you don't even know that I've got. Because, for the most part, I'm either putting up the Crusader King stuff that I've done very, very recently, or I'm still sifting through these Lego Marvel Avengers collectibles. I think that's Space Captain America, because he can fly. I hope it's not the Scuba Captain America, because that doesn't seem to make a ton of sense. But it's kind of the point that I have to realize that it's not really working. YouTube changed their policy on revenue sharing, and they no longer revenue share with sites or with channels that have not gotten to, I think, 10,000 views. And I think as of this recording, we're sitting somewhere around like 4,700 or something like that. And I'm never going to be a guy who does the latest, greatest games. I'm a guy who does games on the cheap, games that he revisits sort of years after they've been done. Sometimes those are cult hits, and sometimes they're not. When I started the Lego Marvel Avengers series, the game was actually fairly new. It made more sense to be doing that. But a lot of the games I've got on my channel are, they're games that I would say either lots of people have done before, or, they're not, I wouldn't necessarily call them in demand. And so that's one of the things I'm hoping will be a little bit different with the Crusader Kings playthrough, or playthroughs, as depending on how they develop. It's just because that game seems to have a more timeless quality, so I'm thinking there's still interest in people who kind of like to see what that does. Maybe there's somebody still out there playing Lego Marvel Avengers at this point who needs, just a little bit of guidance as to where gold bricks can be found in New York City. But I think that for a channel to be successful, it's got to go beyond, just just sort of the play-by-play of doing a Let's Play series. You need some color. And I think that's where, channels like the Game Grumps, or even, like the SGBs of the world, make a lot of their hay is from the amount of color that they have. And obviously that's not a racial distinction, that's a humor distinction, a life distinction, things outside of the games that are going on, or the ability to sort of manipulate how people look at games. And I don't know if there are some times when I'm definitely attempt to be funny, but I don't know. I don't know how much of that kind of humor I can sort of do. It just seems awfully forced. I feel like that kind of thing has to flow naturally, and I think that that's where the advantage of having some sort of background in acting or something of that nature would come in handy. Whereas my background is in history. I'm a storyteller. The thing about this format is that the story's more or less being told. The part of the story that you don't know is the part that is being experienced by me, the player. And that's really got to shine through in order for these kinds of things to work. So I hope that you just sort of understand, kind of where I'm coming from with this, and I'm going to keep going with the I'm going to keep going with these Avengers videos until they're done, because I think that I feel like I owe that. And I am going to try to get up over time all the rest of the things that I've sort of, at this point, pre-recorded a while ago. But, it's kind of weird because when I recorded them, they probably had more meaning to me than they do right now, kind of coming back to it. As we watch the Vision kind of fly around and shoot targets in order to get the gold brick, it doesn't, it probably felt more tangible to me in the moment. Right now, it's almost like I'm watching somebody else do it, or have done it, because there's no way I remember exactly what I was thinking or feeling, as like Spitfire runs around this building. I do know that I failed this little part at least once. So I'm going to be spending the next few episodes, or at least the next episode. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. So I'm going to be spending the next episode, probably trying to be a little bit more introspective about things while we run around and collect gold bricks in the background. And I think that'd be a good place to go, simply because, I mean, how many times do you really want me to say, and now I've got to pull this lever or push that button, or not overthink, a particular puzzle. And this one, I think I did that. And this one wasn't, the idea is you have to get all 3 lights on. Now, the nice thing about this puzzle is that you don't have to get them all on at the same time. In fact, even though you can get 2 on together, it's impossible to have all 3 lights on at the same time with all the little wires on. You do have to disrupt the circuit here. Okay. And that gives you the final light. And then there's the gold brick. And that's going to be our last gold brick hunting for today. So I'll see you guys next time. Take care.